Most men overlook something far more important than they realize. Interestingly, it's something that women deeply appreciate, yet rarely discuss openly. Take a moment and think about it. You've probably seen men who seem to have everything going for them. They're attractive, confident, successful, and socially respected. Yet somehow, they still struggle to build genuine, meaningful connections with women. No matter what they try, something always seems to be missing, and they can't quite figure out why. The truth is that attraction isn't built solely on looks, money, or social status. Those things may get attention, but they don't necessarily create real emotional connection. What many men fail to notice are the small, subtle behaviors that leave a lasting impression. These aren't dramatic gestures or flashy displays. They're quiet actions that often go unnoticed, yet they carry a powerful effect on how a woman feels about you. In this video, we're going to explore some of the hidden desires women experience but rarely express directly. These aren't the typical dating tips you hear everywhere. Instead, they're rooted in psychology and timeless human behavior. When you truly understand these principles and apply them correctly, the way women perceive you can shift completely. Now, imagine this for a moment. What if you could connect with a woman on a level so deep that even she couldn't fully explain it? What if you could naturally stand out without chasing attention, without constantly trying to impress, and without feeling the need to prove your worth, simply by knowing how to make her feel understood, valued, and emotionally safe? That alone would place you ahead of most men. And here's an uncomfortable truth. If you don't understand these deeper principles, you're already at a disadvantage. You may miss opportunities for attraction that could have grown into something meaningful. You may lose connections that could have stayed in her mind long after you were gone. That's why understanding this is so important. And once these ideas truly sink in, especially the final one, your perspective on attraction and relationships may never be the same again. Before we continue, here's a quick request. If you enjoy learning about relationships, human psychology, and emotional connection, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support helps us continue creating content designed to help people better understand themselves and others. Now, let's move on to the first idea, something most men seriously underestimate: the quiet power of physical touch before intimacy. Imagine you're on a date with a woman. The atmosphere feels comfortable. The conversation flows naturally. You're both laughing and enjoying the moment, yet something feels slightly off. She's engaged and attentive, but emotionally she's not completely open. Later, you send her a message and then, nothing. No response. This is where many men unknowingly lose momentum. Most men assume attraction is built mainly through words. They focus on being funny, telling impressive stories, or trying to say all the right things. But women don't connect through conversation alone. They connect through emotions. They connect through the energy you bring into the interaction. Most importantly, they connect through how they feel when they're around you. One of the most overlooked ways to create that feeling is through calm, intentional physical touch, not rushed, not needy, and certainly not forced. It should always feel natural, respectful, and effortless. Even the smallest gesture, when done sincerely, can completely change the emotional dynamic between two people. A gentle touch on her shoulder, a warm hug that lasts a moment longer, a reassuring gesture at exactly the right time. These simple actions often communicate far more than words ever could. For many women, emotional safety carries more weight than physical attraction alone. Non-sexual physical touch sends a powerful message without saying a word. It tells her that you respect her boundaries. It shows that she can relax around you. And that sense of comfort is what allows true intimacy to develop. This isn't about memorizing techniques or trying to perform perfectly. It's about being present. It's about moving slowly. And it's about paying attention to her responses. When you create an environment where she feels appreciated rather than pressured, everything begins to flow naturally. The men who create the strongest emotional impact don't rush these moments. They don't try to control every interaction. Instead, they allow things to unfold at their own pace. They remain calm, grounded, and aware. They understand that genuine connection grows in an atmosphere of comfort and trust. When you carry yourself with that kind of calm confidence, you naturally become someone she feels safe around. And emotional safety is one of the strongest foundations of attraction. What's even more interesting is that much of this happens beneath conscious awareness. When a woman feels emotionally comfortable with you, she naturally lowers her guard. Not because you convinced her to, not because you pressured her to, but because your presence makes her feel secure. That feeling isn't created through grand gestures or dramatic displays. It's built through consistency, through small, respectful actions repeated over time. The way you listen, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself, all of it matters. Intentional physical touch, when it feels natural, reinforces that emotional security. It communicates confidence without aggression and interest without pressure. The key, however, is awareness. You must pay attention to how she responds. Does she relax? Does she move closer? Or does she need more space? Respecting those signals is what separates a man who understands connection from one who is simply trying to impress. Patience is equally important. Many men rush because they're afraid of losing the opportunity. But genuine attraction grows when there is no rush. When you remain present and allow emotions to develop naturally, you create room for authentic feelings to emerge. That's what makes a connection feel real. Another important factor is emotional awareness. Many men focus entirely on what they're doing, but true connection comes from understanding what she is feeling. When you're emotionally aware, you notice subtle shifts in her mood, body language, and energy. That allows you to respond naturally instead of forcing interactions. And that calm, steady presence is something many women rarely experience. It's also important to understand that restraint is attractive, not reacting impulsively, not rushing physical closeness, not trying to force progress. These behaviors communicate confidence and self-control. When your actions are slow and intentional, they feel more genuine. They show that you're acting from clarity rather than desperation. Over time, these small moments build trust. Trust creates comfort, and comfort opens the door to deeper attraction. When a woman feels she can truly relax around you without pressure, she begins to associate your presence with emotional peace. And that feeling stays with her long after you've left. In the end, the man who leaves the strongest impression is often not the one who says the most, but the one who makes her feel the safest.